Hi, it's George Nordhaus, and welcome to Monday morning. And this month, or this week, is going to be an epic one because we are going to tell the story of the National Alliance. Now, everybody out there's heard of the National Alliance. If you haven't been in the insurance industry very long. It was a vision that one man had, and it became reality over a period of the last 40-plus years. And now, of course, you all are involved in one way or another, and if you're not, you should be. And you see that Dr. William Holt there is going to be our presenter, naturally, because we're going to tell the story of Dr. Holt. Bill and I have known each other since 1969 when he went into business. I came in, Bill, in about 1960, so I'm older than you, maybe. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. But I do remember you coming in early on when you were with the University of Texas, and then you came out with this idea, and I thought, well, boy, that's really a neat thing. And then, of course, in these following 40-plus years, you've become you're the number one guy in education. I don't think there's any doubt about that, and everybody has said that, so it's true. And you follow the Society of CIC. That's an amazing thing. I want you to tell me later on some numbers. Tell me how many roughly CICs we've got and so forth. And so you've had a lot of honors and all kinds, from the Rough Notes and newscast and all those, and a living legend. Wow, it's good we're still in the living legend area. I think that's great. You were Florida State University College of Business inducted you there, Hall of Fame. I thought that was terrific. I think we have a little bit of information we can tell about that and the foundation and the program that's in your name. So, Dr. Holt, you're the man. It hadn't been easy, has it? It's been a little crazy early on, if I remember.
No, it hasn't. No, George, first of all, I want to thank you for giving us this opportunity, to be on the program with you. As many of the people listening in know or viewing, we've known each other for a long, long time, and you've led this industry in a lot of ways, for a great many years. So I appreciate all of your support over the years, especially in the beginning, and your friendship, and again, one of many opportunities you've given us to have a voice. So thank you.
Well, I would have been more involved, and I would have taken CIC, but I never could pass it. I took the...
that was a worry I had, George.
Yes, I know you did. Yeah, well, I did teach CPCU a little while, but I couldn't take it. Couldn't finish it, so I just taught it. Yeah.
We're not going to hold that against you, though.
Okay, go ahead. All right. Tell me about those early years, will you?
Okay, well, everything, has, of course, a beginning and a little interesting beginnings, but over the years, everything is not always smooth sailing. Everybody doesn't always love you or like you, and as you know, we never quite perceive ourselves as other people perceive ourselves. So over the years, I just thought I'd share with you some of the different titles people have given me. Not always, very positive, but for example, for a period of years, I was called the Ayatollah of Austin, and that was some of our people we did business with, our licensees, because we had standards, and unlike various other organizations, we actually enforced those standards. And some people thought we were a little bit too rigid, so a letter went out to all ships at sea years ago saying, well, we've got to do something. This guy is the Ayatollah. Then as we progressed and we began programs in other areas such as risk management and others that people thought were their purview, we became known as the head of the evil empire because we kept on growing. And as you know, some people don't perceive me as the most friendly person in the world. I think you told me one time in Nebraska I looked like I just come out of a cave in Sicily.
Oh, I wouldn't have said that. I couldn't have said that. Oh, you really hurt me. Go ahead.
They weren't too happy. They liked our programs, and they thought they were excellent, but they didn't like the idea of us continually growing and moving in, if you will, on their territory. Then that generated in other years, too, the fact that we, as you know, are adamant about striving for perfection, because I believe the only way you can achieve excellence is to strive for perfection. We know that old adage about you don't trip over mountains, you trip over molehills. And excellence is many small things done well. So we insisted down to the great detail that things be done the right way, that they be done professionally, and that we treat all of our participants in a professional fashion. And many thought that that would be the ruination because I was a fanatic about trying to get things exactly right. Now, as the program progressed, then unfortunately, you were an association executive yourself. Some of the people didn't do a particularly good job, and somehow or other, I got blamed for some people being reassigned outside the association, if you will.
Well,
So
Bill, I used to run in Indiana. I remember when you came in, I was just finishing running Indiana of Big I, and we didn't know who the heck you were. I had no idea, but I kind of early on, I don't think people realized anything like this was going to be big. But I can, from the association executive standpoint, which I was one for 10 years, I think if I had stayed in, I would have not only accepted you but promoted you like crazy. But I know you would compete with me because I'd be doing CE courses and all that, and that's what they're doing. And I think that's the way they see you, don't they? You frighten them, or you did.
I did, yeah. So then we progressed from that to the end was we had to be. This came the last one, the cancer one, was when CISR began to grow rapidly. There was elements of the insurance industry that says we have to stop this guy, that we cannot let another program be like CIC that will take over education in the United States. So then it became a cancer that had to be excised and halted. So that went around for several years. We had to do that. And then the last one was some people, I can't imagine why people thought I was too aggressive.
No.
And persistent. But then I was a mad dog that had to be chained because this thing was out of hand, and the only way to control me was to get a chain tied to a stake and the other around my neck. So I just thought I'd let you know some of the interesting titles that have gone on.
Didn't seem to bother you. Didn't seem to bother you a lot. You just went forward.
The one that I thought was one of the more humorous was this one. And they don't want to give me too much credit, obviously, but they said, I love it. The original title was "He Ain't No Moses, but he sure has followers." We cleaned it up for your show.
Yeah, right.
But that was, I thought, was very humorous, and we're very fortunate. We have a very large number of participants, and I sure am no Moses, but I thought the picture was sort of cute, and I thought you'd enjoy seeing that.
I love it. Love it.
As you know, better than really anyone, as you mentioned earlier, National Alliance is 46 years old. It was a brand new idea at the time. And when you look at the history of new ideas, and you've had many in your career and in your many businesses, the first reaction that people have is they ridicule it. They say, well, this is the dumbest thing in the world. And in our case, they said, well, agents will never take these examinations. They'll never come back and take them again if they don't pass them. And even if they pass them all, they'll never come back and do the annual update. And you're just nuts. And this idea is not going anywhere. The second vision that people came up with, well, this thing hasn't gone away. CIC is still existing. So they became opposed to it. And they said, well, you have no right to certify anybody. Where did you get the right to say anybody was certified? Did you go to some mountaintop? Did you get 6 tablets that says establish CIC, do updates, make people study life and health? But when you look at all of these organizations, AICPA, appraisal institutes, bar associations, it was a group of interested professionals that got together and said, we need to try to bring our business together, help be more competitive, and raise the standards. So that was the second element, was the opposition. Then as we continued on and enjoyed some success, people said, well, after thinking about it, this wasn't the worst idea in the world, and it really was good enough to be a success, and we don't understand what all the early problems were. And of course, at the end, we had all those people that said, well, I knew from the beginning this would be successful. This was a great idea. And you've gone through that in your own career.
Sure.
Those are sort of in summary fashion, some of the stages we went through. Now we have, with the help of a lot of people, we've accomplished with college professors, industry leaders, National Association executives, big brokers, that thought it was absolutely impossible to do what we've done or unthinkable. Every time we got to one plateau, somebody said, well, this isn't going to work anymore. We believed in our hearts that we could succeed when others didn't believe in us. But you know, George, better than anybody, if you don't, you will never succeed if you don't believe in yourself. And we did believe in this program. We believed in ourselves, and we believed in those people that did support us. So when you say, or we ask ourselves, has everybody loved us along the way? They haven't. But as you told me, I think, in Des Moines 40 years ago, you said, Bill, don't worry. They don't have to love you to get in bed with you, or words to that effect.
It's probably a little raunchier than that, but that's okay.
Oh, well, it probably was. But anyway, that is sort of the little bit of the history of, you know, how we've come along and where we've gone.
Let me ask a question, Bill, that I never understood. Just wait a minute. How did you afford to do this? I mean, did somebody give you a lot of money or anything? Because I've tried. That's always a problem. How could you guys have done this? In retrospect, I always wondered that, if I may ask that question.
Oh, absolutely. The first way, we didn't take any money. We never got, in the early years, we never took any money out. Nobody got paid. And I was a full-time professor, at Texas.
Right.
Other individuals had agencies. They didn't ask for any money to help us. We paid a very, very minimum honorarium to faculty to teach for us. And you'll recall in those days, when you appeared on programs, you rarely got paid. Remember, people would give you a notebook or a nice pad of paper or a glass or something, and they would say, thank you very much, and they'd usher you out the door.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you have rooms full of glasses and tablets and such. But we never took any money, and we were just one state, and when we had a program, we had a little bit of money, and we reinvested in the program. But as we'll note in a minute, we never took any money from anybody, and we never borrowed any money, and we all built it, from organic growth.
Wow.
So there were times when I didn't know how we were going to do it. But
yeah, I bet. Wow.
But that's the key. Was we never took a lot of money. We never took any money out, and we poured every dime that came in back into the business. So our core business, is of course what we believe is life-changing professional education. And as you know, unlike almost every other organization, we don't sell anything outside of the education. We don't sell emblazoned T-shirts, underwear. We don't sell E&O insurance.
Right.
Nothing like it. It's just a very straightforward goal. You mentioned earlier, how did we start? Well, we thought this sort of dramatizes 1969. There we were. No staff, no participants, no designees, and no money. Perfect, right?
Wow.
So we again still have never accepted money. We don't have platinum sponsors, silver sponsors, and we don't allow any of our licensees to have sponsored coffee breaks, to have somebody put their name on the notebooks, to put things in the notebooks, to promote some specific company or some specific agency. No sponsored events of any kind, and we remain that way today. In fact, we're sort of more unique today than we probably have ever been, because everybody's got a name on something, right?
Uh-huh. Right.
Stadium. This is we are the official hot dog of the NFL, or the official cheese poopy of the baseball league, or whatever. Everybody's got something. Amazing that you don't have something like that.
I'm working on it. I'm thinking about it.
The official potato chip of George or something.
There you go.
Yeah. So that is where we were in 1969. If we progress to today, since those initial days, we have actually had, and we told this up for some other purpose not too long ago, we have actually had 2.3 million registrations.
Oh my God, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Those
numbers.
numbers.
We have 63,000 people with the designations.
Oh, wow.
30,000 CICs. We've conducted 59,000 programs, and we actually have designees, in 10 different countries. And I'm not counting Texas as a separate country.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, what, people who got the designees and then moved to the other places? Is that you don't?
Or got them online, or achieved them online.
Oh, I got you.
And we have from, of course, we have a whole program in Mexico. Our certified risk manager program is conducted all in Spanish.
I didn't know that.
Mexico. And then we have people from South America, Central America, Europe,
Wow.
a few people from Saudi Arabia. And now we've really done, I wouldn't want to say huge amounts of participants. We have a significant number of participants now in both China and India.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. That's wild.
So we're very pleased.
Oh my.
And when we talk about people with the designation, I want to be clear, we're not counting everybody that's ever achieved the designation. We're only counting those people that currently have it and have maintained their annual update. So there are really significantly more individuals that have achieved the designation, but they have lost it because they've either retired or they failed to maintain.
Yeah, right. I understand. That's amazing.
All active, living people.
30,000 right now live CICs. Oh man.
And the number that I think that I want to touch on in a moment is, well, we'll do it right now. This will, I think, really have an impact on you. You will remember, you and I could be the only people in captivity that remember Powder Puff Clinics and Gal Friday programs.
I remember
right?
Gal Friday programs, yeah. Yeah.
Well, there are now in the CISR program 70,000 individuals who participate. Individuals, not registration. Currently 70,000 people.
Unbelievable.
It's a long way from the Holiday Inn, right?
Yeah, right.
Remember those remember people went from town to town, remember that? They had the Gal Friday clinics, powder puff deals, one day, whole business.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
so that is where we've come from 1969 to
wow.
the summary of where we are in 2015.
What a story.
So one of the things that we are the proudest of, and if you look back at our history, one of the most unique things that we have ever done is this alliance with Florida State University. But 3 years ago, we came together with them, and as you know, they have one of the better risk management insurance programs. They're currently ranked number 5 in the country. We think we should be number 1. We're working to strive for that. But what they have at Florida State is so unusual. They have both an undergraduate and a graduate program in risk management insurance. They have a Center for Insurance Research, and then they have a Catastrophic Storm Risk Management Center. What we have done is we've come together with Florida State, and this is an agreement in perpetuity, and we co-promote various programs. So they are, one of the best academic institutions in the country in this area. Hopefully we're the leaders in our area. So this is the most unique thing. No one in history has ever formed this alliance with a major university, where we're able to promote each other, if you will, without sacrificing any academic integrity on their part or on our own part. So and then the outgrowth of all this was they renamed the whole risk management program in our name, which of course, is something that only happens once in a lifetime.
Isn't that the truth?
Never. Building.
Yeah. What an honor.
So it's taken several years, but it has really changed the nature of the insurance academia. It really has. It's got a lot of people are now a lot more interested in working with universities, with Florida State. Had an opportunity to talk with one of our former colleagues, Roger Sitkins, the other day. He says hello to you. And Roger has made a significant contribution to the program at Florida State, and we're very pleased with that. So
wow.
He, one of your people that you mentored and one of your colleagues. So we thought we'd show you just a little picture of when the whole ceremony took place and the naming and the signs on the College of Business, which of course we're very proud of. And then the third picture, this is within the building, and there's a whole suite of offices, very nicely done, and they've put my little picture up there and some of the history of the National Alliance. And the younger gentleman beside me is my son William. He works with us now, but he got his MBA at Florida State.
Florida State, good.
Yeah, he's an undergraduate at Alabama. So we just thought we'd just show you that.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I didn't know that it even existed. It needs a little national publicity, and it needs a great big article in Rough Notes or something. This one does.
Oh, it does, yeah. So anyway, this is something that's moved the whole business forward. A lot of people have been attracted to this company. So it takes, as you know, George, it takes years to do these things.
Absolutely. No question.
Keep building, keep active. So in addition to the Florida State, we have the designation programs. Of course, you're aware of CIC, you're aware of the risk management program.
Okay.
Our newest effort is the CPRM program, which is a Certified Personal Risk Manager. And this is an area that has really grown. It's the whole high net worth, affluent space, if you will. There's an enormous interest by companies, agencies, of being a lot more active in this area. There's a very high retention rate for the business. Commissions are pretty, not all bad. They're livable. Companies are interested in writing this business. So this program focuses on how you deal with high net worth and affluent clients. And we've gone off to a very positive start. In fact, we actually had a program in Dallas last week. We closed the program at 85 people, and we actually had a real live waiting list.
Wow.
Of people. So there's a lot of support by the carriers who write this business. There are 5 programs involved. So this is a whole new area. Then, of course, CISR, we mentioned that just a moment ago with the 70,000 participants, and then our program for school risk managers. So those are the 5 designation programs we now conduct. The CRM is conducted both in Spanish and English. CISR is in both Spanish and English, and Spanish in Puerto Rico. So we've been able to do that. In China and India, it's all done in English because they're very strong bilingually.
Yeah, right.
And they want the education in English because they're dealing with, companies and agencies, based in the United States.
Yeah, and before we leave this, Bill, will you get one of your people who ever runs CPRM and I'm going to get together with them, and I'll do a Monday morning on this. I think that is going to be so valuable that I just jumped all over. I didn't know that it was available, honestly. So this is really welcome to me because it's the future. We got to put personal back into the insurance business. And that's what
George, that's a very good point. People, I never realized this facet of CPRM. I can't tell you how many people have come to me at the various programs and said, finally, we're getting recognition for personal lines.
Mm-hmm.
This makes us feel good in the agency. We've been relegated to the nickel seats for years. My agency owners want to develop this business. We're here at your program to start a department or an area within the agency to service this business. So that it's really created. I've been pleasantly surprised. I really hadn't realized the strong feeling.
Well, I think
you're right on.
I think that most agents are beginning to realize, obviously, that they have to go somewhere into this direction if they're going to compete with the Geicos of the world. I've written a lot of stuff about Geico effect and all these things, but this is just ideal for competing against that, and I love it. Maybe I'm talking out of school. Probably going to get Geico. Won't be.
They're entitled. If they're entitled, we're entitled, right?
You bet.
So if we turn from designation programs to professional development programs, we have our university associate programs. We're now we're working with 17 different universities, all the major ones involved in insurance and risk management. This last year we had 314 individuals registered for these classes, and this allows a junior or a senior at the university to take 2 of our courses, either CIC or CRM, while they're at the university. Take the exam so that when they graduate, then they'll have at least 2 parts of CIC or 2 parts of CRM.
Fabulous idea. Great idea.
It's very popular. They're all getting hired, as you can imagine.
I bet.
So that's another way that blends in with Florida State. We pioneered the program at Florida State. It spread to the other universities, and that is a very unique program, in the industry. Nobody is really doing that.
No.
We have an introductory series of courses for people brand new to the business.
Mm-hmm.
We have, of course, our producer schools, which are 2 weeks in length. One focuses on life and benefits, and we do that with the International Foundation of Benefit Plans, and then we have one that focuses on property and liability coverages. We have, of course, the whole dynamic series of sales programs, dynamics of selling, dynamics of agency company relationships, the sales management. Then we'll touch on Careers for Life in a moment. Then we have special programs for CSRs, the William T. Holt seminars, and of course our longtime James K. Rubel seminars only for CIC and CRM designees. So those are the programs as we continue. And I think the most important part of this discussion is that unlike other programs, there's always a next step at the national lines. Mm-hmm. You're never going to be an educational orphan. So there's always, well, if I did this, what do I do next? When I do that, is there something else I can do? So a continual progression of difficulty, and of diverse programs. And we're very proud of that too. That's taken years to develop that.
Wow.
So we're pleased with that. And then again, each of these programs has its own credit, has its own distinctive nature, and they're not just, one is not a copy of another, or we didn't take one part of CIC and make it into a part of something else. They're all programs unique to themselves.
Wow.
The program that I think that you just pointed out a moment ago is the Careers for Life. We wanted to try to bring military people into the insurance business. And we're talking about people who are active in the military, retired military, spouses, and children. So what we've been able to do is develop programs, and they're CIC, CRM, CISR. We've done this in conjunction with Florida State University. Every one of these programs is approved by VA or other funding mechanisms.
Wow.
If you're entitled to VA benefits and you enroll in these programs, the cost will be covered, which is no mean achievement.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, you're also involved with the Disabled Veterans Insurance.
Yes, well, we developed all their curriculum for them.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that. Well, I'm learning a heck of a lot today, man. To keep going, don't stop.
So, in any event, so this is all done through Florida State.
Uh-huh.
So let's say that you were a veteran and you're thinking about leaving the military, you're interested in the insurance business. Of course, we've got a big education job there. You can select one of these programs. You can enroll through Florida State. You don't have to have certain grade point average or SAT. You can enroll. You enroll, and you can do that anywhere in the world. So you can be in Germany. You can be in Manhattan, Kansas, and this all funnels through Florida State. But you can take the classes in the specific state. So if you're at Fort Leavenworth, you can take CIC in Kansas, take CISR online or in Kansas, all done. And then if you take the other part of the equation, let's say somebody says, I'm in the business, how do I get a job? We're working with all of our associations to help place these people. So let's go back to Manhattan, Kansas. You're there, you want to stay in Kansas. We're working with the IA of Kansas, and they're working with their agency membership saying, here's a good person, a veteran, a person that's done their CIC or their CISR part of it, the same programs that you're paying for as an agency owner, and it gives them the chance to hire a veteran, a veteran that's educated in insurance and risk management, and have it paid for. And it gives the association a real cause, right? Bringing new people to the business, helping veterans, and helping their own members.
Fantastic idea.
So we're working with that, and DBIC is working with us, helping to promote the program.
Terrific.
So again, this is something that's never been done, in the insurance business on this scale. So we're trying to attract the people, bring them through the program with Florida State and us, and then have the agents associations help place them in our business. So we have both ends of it, we believe. We have a lot of work to continue to develop it, but people are enrolling, and hopefully we'll have some of the first 2 people to place very shortly.
Let me ask a question, Bill. At this stage of the game, everything you've talked about here, I knew you guys had grown and bigger, but how many people worked for you?
About 150 people.
I can remember it was just you. Oh, my God.
Sometimes it feels like just
me. I bet so.
That's
yeah, right.
A lot of good people. And in addition to what we have here, we have very, very close to 500 individual faculty that teach for us.
Oh, God. That's
when you consider that we're doing 2,500 programs a year, that's what, 50 50 some a week, all over the country.
How about 5 a week, maybe?
No, 2,500
times 5. Well, whatever. I'm not a mathematician, but I just.
Well, you just proved that, George. You just proved it.
Well, that's a heck of a lot. Whatever it is, it's unbelievable. Nobody's ever.
It's a lot.
What?
Keeps me up.
Go ahead.
Then we have, in addition to Careers for Life, then we have our whole research academy, and that's our Academy for Insurance for Research, and that we do a lot of research in there. We write several books, industry relevant books. This is a not-for-profit foundation, and it has about right at 18,000 members that subscribe to that, and we have 56 agencies, companies, individuals that we call research associates that make a small contribution each year and receive the publications. So that is another arm of what we're doing in addition to the classroom and online education.
Gosh.
So that is really, George, a thumbnail sketch, if you will, without being too laborious and boring to folks about what the National Alliance is all about today. Yeah. Hopefully, we'll move forward on several of these areas in the future.
Well, I guess I sound like an idiot. I keep saying, wow, 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 wow. But, you've just been there through all my career, most of my career, and I watch it, and I guess I'm like a lot of people. Oh, well, we know society, CIC and all that. I don't think, I would be surprised if 5% of the agents in the country know what you guys have been doing, really know now. They're going to know now because I'm going to get this in front of them.
You're the master at getting the word out.
I hope so. I want to help. This is beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. What can I say other than you're one of the few guys I know in life who said, this is what I want to do, and he did it well, and he's going to be followed by family and other people who are going to be working with. This will be here, Bill, when you and I are 100 years gone, probably, and that's a wonderful thing. I hope.
I hope so.
All right, well, people want to get hold of you, and I know they do. I know everybody knows about it. Oh, that's nice. The sun never says, what a beautiful slide. So all they need to do is call that 800 number and the National Alliance. And I want to thank you and the people who worked with you on this, who've done a wonderful job. And I'm really, really thrilled, Bill, to be able to tell the world. I think you've probably told this story before to people, but by golly, I'm gonna get the word out. I promise you. Okay. And thank you again for everything. And for the rest of you, don't forget to go back to the email, and you can. There's a lot of good things there that you can see, and you can also sign up for our first live webinar we're going to be having in May. But this is a beauty, and I'm really, really proud to have done it. And I want to thank all of you again, and we'll